All right, all right. Oh my goodness. Hey, and Anthony, you are the first on. Thank you so much for being on with me today. I have so many stories to share with everyone that's going to hop on. So let's see. We have three people on right now. Awesome. Thank you for joining in. I have had one of the most inspirational weeks that I've had in a very long time. It was just fantastic. I was out in Salt Lake City last week, and I got to speak for two amazing organizations. The first was the New Car Dealer Association of Utah, and that's where we got together and we talked about everything on the female consumer and how to tailor a dealership's brand experience to the world's most influential consumer. So we spoke about that, but not only did we talk about the woman, we pivoted a little bit and we spoke about in the back half of our day on how to create a 5-star experience. It was really cool because everyone that was there were all very seasoned automotive professionals, some very seasoned automotive dealer principals, and their feedback was unbelievable. They just could not believe how much science actually goes into why she buys, as well as, how simple it really is to create a 5-star experience. I mean, that doesn't mean it has to be luxury and over the top, but it's really about being a nice person. So that was an awesome Thursday last week. And then on Friday, I had the honor of speaking at the Young Automotive Group, and that was just unbelievable. It was standing room only, 147 employees there to listen to me keynote on how to elevate the experience with a female consumer. And it was so much fun. But I think what I loved the most was the questions that I got. And I got so many amazing questions, like, when a woman comes into the F&I office, and she's got her back up against the wall, how do we solve that? How do we become more human-like? How do we greet a man and a woman together? The organic questions were just unbelievable. So it was a real fun a real fun couple of days. And then hey, how are you? Oh, thank you, Andrea. Thank you so much. It was standing room and it was fantastic. But what's even cooler, oh, hey, Rick, thanks for joining. What I think is cool, out of that inspiration, my friend and I, her name is Tamala, she was there with me, and I can't wait to soon enough announce who she is as part of the Alchemy Group, but that's still to come. But she and I went out for a few cocktails afterwards, and we actually came up with my book title. So not only were the 2 days that I was in, almost 3 days there in Salt Lake City, unbelievably inspiring and motivating, because I had the chance to speak about two very important topics that I happen to be very passionate about. But I also named my book in Salt Lake City, which is super exciting. And so I'm going to be launching my book title very soon. It has been a labor of love. I was joking with my editor, my senior editor at the publishing house, and she said, we need to design a book cover, we really need to get on this. And I said, well, is it like, when you get married, and all the ladies out there will understand this, and you go wedding dress shopping, and you go, from shop to shop, and you try hundreds of dresses on, and you're hoping that you have that feeling, like it's the one. The moment you put that most beautiful dress on, you feel emotional, and you have tears in your eyes, and you just know. And I said to Jessica, who was my senior editor, I said, Jessica, is that how it's going to feel when I finally know that it's the name of my book? Unfortunately, not so much. It's been a labor of love, but now I know 100%, and I cannot wait to launch that book title. It is going to be coming out end of August, beginning of September, and honestly, there hasn't really been a book written about the female consumer in almost 8 to 10 years. So really, really exciting. We have some comments coming in here, so I'm just going to take a look here. Thank you, Whitney, for joining. I really appreciate you coming on. Anthony, I know what it is, but you do know what it is, but you are not telling. You're not saying a single thing. Andrea, Anthony teasing like a kid in a candy store, but it's true. I can't wait to launch it. I just need to get the go-ahead from Greenleaf Publishing before I do. But so that last week was just unbelievable. But while I was in Salt Lake City, and what I really want to talk to you about right now is the shopping experience I had. So I posted about this, I believe it was on Monday, it might have been Tuesday, but I posted about the female shopping experience and the experience that I had actually at a Nordstrom. I was in Salt Lake City and I had a top I wanted to wear, but I needed to purchase a skirt for it because, silly me, I had forgotten it at home. And so I went into Nordstrom and started shopping around, and you don't have to twist my arm too much to get me into a Nordstrom. And so I was combing through all of these racks and finally found a really beautiful pencil skirt, a black velvet pencil skirt. And if any of you follow me on Instagram, which you should, you would have seen a picture of it. So this black pencil skirt was just beautiful, so I hopped into the change room. I think I most literally skipped over to the change room, and there was a wonderful lady there that had the most beautiful smile on her face, and she greeted me and got me a room. And so before I just closed my door, she said, well, what's your name? I need to know your name. And I said, my name is Katie. And she said, wonderful, Katie. Okay, let me know if you need anything. So I come out of the change room in this pencil skirt, and she goes, oh, and her eyes go super wide. And she goes, Katie. And I'm like, yes. She goes, I put the perfect top for that skirt. And so she scurries off without even another mention. And she brings on back a top that is just stunning, and I put it on, and I felt like I felt like almost like Cinderella, one of the most beautiful women there, and she was just gloriously happy with her choice, and she made me feel super special. And so the reason I tell you the story is because not only I walked in just for a skirt, I walked out with an entire outfit, and it wasn't because I was looking for it. It was because she treated me and, with compassion. She treated me without judgment, which is huge, because I wasn't exactly dressed up. I didn't exactly look like I was out to spend a lot of money. And she got to know me. She sized me up. She got to know me, and she made a suggestion. And on top of it all, she made me feel beautiful. And that's, for women, it's not necessarily about the purchase itself. And we spoke about this in Salt Lake City, and if anybody ever attends one of my keynotes, I will be speaking about the female consumer at a Game Changer conference this week. Actually, I'm the second speaker on Saturday, so I'm so excited. Big shout out to El Patron and his team there. They've been amazing, and I can't wait to attend. But if you've ever attended one of my talks, you would know that I actually compare the shopping experience to falling in love. And now a lot of people think I am a bit crazy for saying that because especially in the automotive industry, which is where I work heavily, love is not a word we use, and it's something that we ought to start using more. And you may be saying, okay, falling in love and the shopping experience, come on, Katie, what are you saying? Well, I just completely, I guess, the word I'm searching for, I dare you right now to think about the first time you fell in love. And think about the feelings and the reactions that you had. The same physiological reactions that you have when you're falling in love are the same physiological reactions when she is shopping. So the excitement, the release of dopamine and serotonin, as well as the butterflies in your stomach or the sweaty palms or the hair standing on end, those hormones that are released while you're falling in love are also released while a female is shopping. And the last hormone that's released, and if you are able to really capture a trusting relationship with your female consumer, oxytocin will be released. And oxytocin is the bonding hormone. And the bonding hormone is really what tells the female consumer that she can trust you. that she's got a relationship with you. And it's so important that you do this, because remember, it's not about the purchase itself. It's about the feeling she has as she's journeying through the interactions she has with you before she purchases. So the relationship she's gaining with you. I was also out shopping today. I was supposed to be productive today, and I guess I was, because I got all my Christmas shopping done today, which is fabulous. However, I was scoping out the mall and taking a look at just how many women were actually roaming the hallways on, what's the date today? December 11th, in the middle of the day, all Christmas shopping. And even though I had an amazing experience at Nordstrom's in Salt Lake City, I actually had the complete opposite happen to me at the mall. Every store I went into, they were grumpy, like bah humbug, no smiles, no greeting, definitely not getting to use my name at all, not trying to get to know me, not trying to understand what I need or what I want. And they definitely didn't care about the journey that I had while I was, interacting with their brand. It was store after store, brand after brand, that I had that experience. And I just think about how important it is for the female consumer to have that journey and to create that relationship so that she actually purchases not from you just once, but multiple times, and becomes a huge referral source. The female really, truly needs to lose herself in that journey. I couldn't believe how the sales associates within these retail stores just didn't get it. It was, it was service at best, not even close to an experience. So I really do urge you, as we go up, and no matter what industry you're in. So I know I have a ton of automotive followers, and I have some medical followers on here, some retail followers. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. You just really need to realize that the female consumer is your most influential consumer. She controls over $28 trillion of worldwide spending. She is the world's economy. Hands down. And the experience that you provide her helps to elevate the trust she has with your brand, the trust she has with you, and the referrals that she will send your way. There are many ways, so I'm going to go through a couple of them. So there's really 5 ways to tailor your experience to the female consumer. I'm not going to go too in depth into all of them. You should be, I am losing my words tonight. You should be attending the Game Changer Conference in Fort Lauderdale, Miami, this weekend to find out everything. But I'm going to give you a little tidbit of information. So first of all, you need to understand her. You need to understand your female consumer. And so it's super important to take a step back, or to, go 30,000 feet in the air to take a look at who she is and what she needs. And you need to create a consumer persona, or I like to do an exercise called empathy mapping. And empathy mapping is when you truly dig down to understand who that female consumer is, what she needs, what she wants, what are her desires, what are her fears, what are her goals. And you want to do this not by age or demographic, or the amount of money that she brings in, her salaries per year. You want to do this by life stage. So you want to uncover who your female consumers are when they're single, when they are, when they go from me to we and they get married, when they first start having babies or they have kids in school, and then when they become empty nesters, and then finally the last stage is, in their platinum years. Some call them golden years, but I like to think we're much better than that. So platinum years. And you really need to break it down and try to understand what her fears and her needs and her goals are. And if you can understand that, even at a high level, it'll allow you to just slightly shift your focus when you're interacting with a female consumer at a certain stage in her life. Now, The next thing you could do, so number one, and I hope everybody's got a paper. Anybody who's on, I hope you're writing this down because I'm going to give you 5 tips. So the first one is you want to make sure you understand her, understand the decision maker. The second one that you want to truly spend some time on is journeying through her eyes. If you have ever taken a walk through either your dealership or your business of any sort, you probably notice that when you're walking through, you just see at your eye level. I was visiting a restaurant. A friend of mine is a chef and he owns a restaurant, and I was there for lunch with my girlfriend, and I said, "Hey, Daniel," is his name. I said, "Come on over. I want to show you something. Come sit right next to me." So he sits down next to me, he leaves the kitchen, comes, sits down next to me, and he's staring at the wall that I'm staring at. And he's like, "Oh my goodness." I'm like, "Do you see what I see?" And he's like, "There are divots in the wall. The paint is chipped. The outlet, the fixture for the outlet is too small for the outlet hole that was cut out." And I said, "How often do you actually sit where your customers sit and see what they see?" And he said, "I've never done it before." It's amazing how quickly we get on our own hamster wheel and the things that we need to do. And we forget to look through their eyes. So from a female consumer's point of view, they see things that most people don't. And we are highly in tune to details. So making sure that you flip that lens and you journey through her eyes. And a really great way to do that is if you do have any females working with you, ask them to walk the journey that your customer will take from start to finish, and have them actually point out what they see and then make a difference. Big one, check the bathrooms. That's a huge positive for a female consumer. Making sure that your bathrooms are bright, that they smell good, that there is a full-length mirror, that there's some flowers in there, that they don't feel too industrial. They have hand cream. Little touches go a long way. So number one, I'm going to go back through this again. You want to make sure you understand her. Number two, you want to journey through her eyes. Whew, are you ready? Are you ready for number 3? So you want to make sure that you create and build real relationships. I use the word real with purpose because we can smell a lack of being genuine from a mile away, and we will walk away. We want real relationships because that tells us that we can trust you. So I created this this formula, a create connection formula, that actually you can find if you sign up for my 5-star experience online platform. So the downloadable resource is in there. But the connection formula is all about making sure you show compassion and empathy, making sure that you are revealing your vulnerabilities. And that doesn't mean airing your dirty laundry, but that definitely means making sure that you are human, that you want to engage genuinely, and you want to make sure you take your time with the customer, because building a relationship takes time, and when you don't take the time, you're essentially telling her she's not a priority, and you want to make sure you are evolving the relationship with the customer. I mean, the customer will change, her life will change, and your business is going to change, and technology is going to change, so you want to make sure that you're always constantly evolving that relationship. So you want to make sure you create that connection and have those real relationships with your female consumer, because she craves connection. She craves that relationship. She is your number one referral source, and she's the original social media. I mean, before we had the World Wide Web, she would tell her friends all the stories. So making sure that you know that now she's got a megaphone to tell the world about all the things that she may like or not like. So really creating those relationships so that you have buy-in. Fourth, you want to train for EQ. I mean, if you can hire more women, that's even better. But until we get to that point, you want to make sure you train for EQ. Emotional intelligence is going to help you with everything that I just spoke about. And last, but definitely not least, is consistency. Consistency is everything. Every customer, every time. And the female consumer really wants a consistent relationship. She wants a consistent experience. And that consistency, regardless if it's for the female consumer or for a customer in general, that's what's going to set you apart from your competition. It's not going to be, the quality of your product, and it's not going to be the pricing. They will spend more. Customers will spend more for an experience, especially if it's consistent. And if you provide that consistent experience, then they're going to come back to you time and time again. So there are the five things. And as I, journeyed through Nordstrom's and I took a look at, I really took a step back and said, well, how did she make this experience for me amazing? So much so I wrote a social media post about it. I am telling all of you about it. It's because she did everything that I just said. She kind of sized me up and got to know who I was. She created a bond with me, a relationship. She made sure that I felt great about everything that I was purchasing. So she gave me something, and she gave me something consistent. And Nordstrom's as a brand is just consistent. I know there are some times where you may not have the most amazing experience there, but all in all, they are one of the best, and they are very, very consistent. And she used her emotional intelligence to gauge my excitement, to gauge what I was looking for, and it was right up until the last when I got my package, my bag full of product, and I she wished me farewell and hope that I would have fun wearing my outfit. So I thought about it, and it's really not that difficult. I mean, it's more difficult to execute. It's not difficult to grasp. And so I challenge you, no matter what business you're in, and as we close this off today, I challenge you to just take a step back and take a look at your experience, the experience that you provide the female consumer. Take the information you've just written down and say, do we do this? And go point by point by point. Do we truly understand her? Have we flipped the lens? Have we journeyed through her eyes? Are we able to create real relationships? Is our team showing signs of high emotional intelligence? And are we being consistent? If you break it down just as simple as that and audit your team and the experiences even personally that you provide, I promise you're going to find some aha moments that are going to really open your eyes and actually maybe pivot the experience that you are currently providing. So remember, as the holiday season is upon us, and depending on the industry you're in, but the holiday season brings joy, and it brings laughter, and it brings money spending. And we feel good when we're spending money. Remember, it's not about the purchase itself, especially for the female consumer. It is about the journey. So question yourself, are you creating an experience that is going to help your female consumer fall in love with you and your brand? Are you creating an experience that is going to ignite her and release of dopamine and serotonin and oxytocin? Are you creating an experience that she can't live without? I'm going to leave you with those questions, and I really do challenge you. I dare you to take those points and really dissect the experience that you provide. You may just be providing a service, but in today's day and age, and I used this quote about 2 years ago, by the year 2020, which is like 3 weeks from now, by the year 2020, experience is going to override price and quality. So we're here. It has arrived. And are you taking your service, your transactional experience, or transactional service that you're providing, and turning it into an experience? Are you doing that? And if you're not, then you're not on the right bus, because she's not going to spend with you. So there's my challenge to you. The 5 ways to tailor a brand experience to the female consumer. Take a look at them. I hope you wrote them down. And audit the experience and the service you provide. And take a look at how you can go from transaction to interaction to create relationships and a journey she can't live without. I am super excited to be heading in to Florida bright and early tomorrow morning. My flight is 6:30, so I got to be at the airport at like 4:30 in the morning. I will see you, El Patron, and everyone who's attending the Game Changer Conference out there in Fort Lauderdale. I'm actually going to attend the entire conference, which I don't normally do. I usually come in and come out for my hour keynote, but I'm excited to learn and to grow and to network. So if you're going to be there, make sure you stop me, say hi, because I want to know you. And I'm excited, so excited to hear. So I want to hear your stories about the changes you're making with the female consumer. Hey, Kayla. Oh, thank you so much. She's saying here, it's true not only in my work life, but in my personal life. Thank you so much for sharing this. One last story. A dealer principal that I was working, that I presented to in Utah on Thursday, actually said on the weekend, the information not only made sense to him from a professional standpoint, but he was having an interaction with his wife, and he recalled something I said to him, and he stopped, and he listened, and he said, the interaction was so much better. So not only for you professionally, but personally, these little tidbits of information can help you either way. But if you're going to be a game changer, make sure that you say hi, stop by. I want to get to know you, and I want to know your stories. So I've given you like a million challenges, I feel like. So first challenge is to take the 5 steps to creating a 5-star experience, or the female consumer, and make sure that you audit the experience you provide. And then second to that, once you've audited, I want to hear your stories. What did you change? What worked really well? What didn't work? What's working for you so well right now that maybe is a best practice that we all need to know? So drop a comment and let me know. Email me at inspire@katiemares.com. I want to hear your stories. My newsletter is going to come out soon, as well as some real cool things that I'm doing with storytelling about the female consumer and the 5-star experience. So if you want to share a story with me, I am happy to share it with the world. All right, take care, everyone. Have an awesome Wednesday. It is hump day, so make sure that you enjoy the rest of your week. Have a kick-ass week, everyone. Ciao.